It's in our best interest to get put on new flights. I mean, something was wrong with the plane. Did that guy want them to fly it anyway? Sheesh. They were doing their jobs by being safe. Shortly, the attendants returned and the man practically rushed them. "I demand you make this right." The attendant smiled and said, "You guys are all set, sir." And she smiled at him specifically. "I'm very happy to tell you that we have a flight leaving shortly and we were able to give you and your wife the exact same seats as you had booked on the previous flight." "I should hope so, that's the least you can do." And he huffily returned to his chair. Meanwhile, the rest of us were just waiting. The attendant turns to us and says, "And I'm happy to let everyone else know that you'll all be flying first class with us today." Rude husband was furious and immediately jumped up to demand they fly first class as well, while the rest of us just sat there in a state of stunned glee. The attendant just informed the man that she'd given him his request and didn't stick around for more abuse. The wait wasn't long, and soon my friend and I were boarded onto the unicorn, fabled place that is first class. As a poor air travel newbie, it was like some kind of fantasy land. Huge seats, really hot washcloths, and though we were underage and couldn't partake of the free cocktail, we did get to choose from a basket of distinctive Pepperidge Farm cookies. And the food. We got a whole meal, which was truly delicious, with real crystal salt and pepper shakers at each place setting, and actual metal cutlery. Meanwhile, the rude husband was irate. My friend and I were in the last row of first-class seats, which only had around 8, and we could hear him heaping abuse on the coach attendants, going off on how these kids don't deserve first class, and how they should have gotten them. We're older, we should be respected, not some kids. Someone else who was in first class, not from our original plane, caught on and was quite tickled with the man's ire. Then, the best part of all happened. The flight attendant in our section overheard this rude husband's tirade with language specifically directed at my friend and me. "Who do those kids think they are?" As unworthy of the honor he should have been granted. The attendant shook his head and addressed me and my friend. "I'm sorry about that, let me take care of this for you," and he closed the curtain to the coach cabin. Rude husband realized what was happening, which makes it even better. I got one last look at his red, irate face before he was gone forever. It was glorious. I guess I should be grateful to him. He literally went on attack immediately and probably scored the rest of us our first-class tickets. His wife was quiet the whole time. I can't even imagine the stories she could tell us all. Moral of the story: flight attendants have the power to make people's day or literally break them. Don't be rude to them. Glorious payback from our long-suffering friends in the service industry. Nope, it absolutely sounds like the author and everyone in their vicinity owed the male Karen, or Ken, a very heartfelt thank you for ensuring that they all traveled in such comfort for the remainder of their journey, followed by a hearty slap to his face for just behaving like such a crappy and unempathetic human. I mean, if you all had to walk past him to get to your seats, you could have gone one at a time on your way. Don't bite the hand that feeds you, Ken. The attendants aren't having any better of a time than you are, and behaving like such an absolute butthole is just spreading misery. I've been delayed on flights many times, and standard procedure is to accept that the situation sucks, knuckle down, be nice, and not get angry unless someone who could help is actively standing in the way of you. It's harder for some people than others, admittedly. Bonus points to the attendants for weathering the rest of the storm that they had to endure